Well, we made it to St. Louis. I'm here to pick up another sailboat.
Wait, what?
A friend of mine has already messaged me with a link to another one in Kansas City that's almost free that I most certainly have to go get. So we will leave St. Louis in a couple of days with a sailboat, and then I'll come home and go grab another one. While in the St. Louis area, Susan and I thought it would be fun to check out some of the sites, especially the St. Louis Zoo. So please bear with me for just a couple of minutes. I'm going to show you some of this incredible zoo footage, and then we're going to get to the boat. The landscaping here at the zoo is easily among some of the best I've ever seen comparative to botanical gardens anywhere. It's just breathtakingly beautiful here. I told Susan it sure would be nice to live somewhere where you can always see pink flamingos.
I don't
Look at me. Look ahead.
Hi! Brian's making me do like the kids lemur thing.
Come on. This is kind of an elevated climbing area for kids or adults. We certainly had a lot of fun. It's interlaced around this primate area, and it's so cool. Susan and I have always really enjoyed going to the zoo, taking the kids, or just going with each other and spending the day. It's a really nice way to spend the day. And I think in the future soon, we're going to make a trip up to the Omaha Zoo. That's just about all the zoo footage. Susan and I did do a little shopping. We stumbled across the coolest little shop, just kind of an everything store. And we did manage to bring home a few souvenirs. We ate out a couple of times, and let me tell you, the Hill in St. Louis, some of the best Italian food I've ever had. This is Gringo Jones Imports in the Shaw neighborhood of St. Louis. What a cool place.
Irrational to spend $2,800 on a giraffe, but I don't know how we'd get home.
$2,800. We'll strap it to the Jeep. We'll put it in the boat, standing.
We didn't bring the giraffe home, but we did bring home Furious George. St. Louis is pretty cool. We really enjoyed the area. It's much more industrial than I would have expected, but I can't wait to go back and have more amazing Italian food. All right, are you ready for the boat? Here she comes.
Really good looking boat. Set of crisp sails. Lights work. Tires look good. He's hauled it a long way, so we know they're good. I got a spare in case. She's a good looking vessel. She really just needs a great wash and a cleanup. Somebody's painted the interior. Leads me to believe this trunk's been done. There we go.
We decided to cut our trip a little short and go ahead and head on home.
They've got some crazy little women there, and I'm gonna get me one.
And here she is, sitting in the yard. I'm about to start taking things off of her, like the mast and the boom. And I'm just going to do kind of a preliminary wash down and do a little buffing. I'm going to see how she's going to buff up. I think she's going to look really gorgeous once we hit her with the buffer. But she's really in very, very good condition. I mean, just a little bit of stuff like this. Somebody's actually put a little bit of, I don't know, 5,200 or 4,200 in there. That's why it's white. But I mean, look at the edge of this boat along here. No chips. I mean, inevitably, every boat I've come across has got a big chunk out of the side rail from something. You know, probably dropping the mast, maybe getting banged up under a piece of a dock. This is kind of the only big piece I see. This trim rail right here is missing on the very tip. Don't necessarily think it's even really necessary to repair. Kind of weird that it's broken off. You know, a little rubbing right there, but you know, nothing major, no cracking, no giant chips. You know, look at the peak of this boat. Look at the nose. I mean, she's in better shape than Chiquita was. Little tiny ding there. There's a couple of dings. You know, there's one kind of significant one here, but nothing like glaringly horrible. You know, this one, I would probably leave these alone. You know, I can mix up a little bit of white epoxy and spare those out and put a little gel coat on it. No big deal. But really, I mean, a little mark here, a little tiny mark here, that'll all buff out. She's just, I mean, it's incredible. Tiny bit of crazing right here. I mean, just a little baby spot. Interiors, I mean, it's almost like the boat's not been used. Here's a little spot. And again, it looks like somebody's probably put a little bit of caulk or something in there. We can build that up and make it disappear. Boat doesn't have a traveler, and that's probably something I'll put in the boat. I'll probably do that. It's been painted for sure, from probably a white to this gray. Somebody has absolutely done some fiberglass work right here, which leads me to believe this trunk has probably been rebuilt because it looks like it's in really great shape. You know, right off the bat, equipment needs. I don't like this cleat. We want to put a cam cleat here, a clam cleat, excuse me. I don't like this kind of a cleat. These are pretty easily knocked out of place and come loose. And that's your centerboard cam. I don't like the looks of the main sheet pulley. This is cheap. This stuff's garbage. That'll be, you know, I got all that inside the shop. I got this. Those are crap. They're going away. It's a real nice attachment here. So let's look at something else I found very interesting. You see this patch here? You know what should be here? A bailer. Somebody has glassed over where the bailers were. That's kind of cool. I think bailers are kind of worthless anyway. They just leak. So there's not a bailer in this boat on either side. Just look how clean this thing is. The trailer's in great shape. The running lights work and the brake lights. The tires are perfect. They're in good shape. She's got a wood tiller, which I'm not thrilled about. She's got a nice aluminum extension. This is going to need some kind of a handle or end on it. I thought maybe I could find a golf club end that they put on, they glue them and then slide them on. That might be really nice here. I think that's something I can get on Amazon. And then I think I'll probably strip down this piece of wood. I can't tell. I think this is probably mahogany. I doubt that it's teak. It's not as dark. It might be a piece of oak. It's got a nice long, wide grain. But that's going to get stripped down, and I've yet to determine if I will revarnish it. We will restain it and or oil it for sure. Not sure if we will varnish it or not. So here's our rudder. And standard rudder. She looks about the same as all of them. I've never seen the wood attachment. Most of them gone to an aluminum attachment. The mast is in great shape. The boom is in great shape. A couple of spots here I'm not totally in love with. Oops, I just knocked the tiller off the boat. I don't love this. And we may try to fill these holes. I don't know that it's a weak point, but not in love with that. Our pulleys are seized, so we're going to want to clean these up really well, drill them out, probably replace those sheaves. That's not a big deal. Windex attachment. It's too bad the Windex isn't here. Jib sheet block. Well, that's a little weird. It doesn't rotate. That'll be replaced. So the shrouds have been updated. Well, no. This particular shroud has been updated. That looks like 5/30 seconds to me. And this is the head stay. That's thinner. That's the original stuff. This is a little thicker, but this is the thickest. Okay, so we're probably going to do new shrouds on the whole boat. Not a big deal. I've got all that material in the shop, and we can swage it. Yeah, just really happy with this little boat. She's going to be, I think, a fairly easy, quick flip. I haven't determined whether or not I'll foam fill it yet. I'm going to foam fill Chiquita. for sure for my own use. And kind of depending on how that goes and what the expense is, I may consider foaming this boat as well. So foaming consists of opening this cavity here. This is your, oh, and that one's real tight. I can't get it open. There's one over there as well. Opening that cavity and putting in a 2-part foam mix and filling this cavity and filling the seat cavity with foam. You put the 2-part mix in there, it expands. You need to do a little bit at a time and let it fill the space, let it stop expanding, and then add a little more and let it fill. You don't want to swell the cavity and potentially break the boat or blow it open or bow the seat. But filling the rail and the seat cavities with foam, you're displacing where water may end up. And with foam, water can't get in there. When you tip this boat over, she's going to be much more buoyant. She's going to sit higher in the water. And if she turtles and goes all the way over, she's going to essentially float on the rail, making it a lot safer and a lot easier to get flipped back over to right the boat. Here's another little piece of, somebody's done some work there. A little bit of fiberglass work. I mean, she looks, I mean, she just, I'm positive that trunk's been done. Which is just fantastic. So you're never going to guess what I paid for this boat. She's a 1974. She's hull number 180. No, now I got to go look. I've forgotten. (1974) hull number 382, and I paid $700 for this boat. Plus the expense of having to go to St. Louis and get it. So, you know, a little more than $1,000 into it. Look at this equipment. Beautiful stuff. That looks very much like Harken to me. Really happy with that. Cleat up front here. That's kind of cool. Don't have that on Chiquita. There's no bow line hole. So I guess you just put your bow line here. Some boats will have a hole right here, and that's to run a bow line through it and have a knot on the inside in that cavity. And then when you're underway, you can just pull that line back in to a knot and have it out of the way. I mean, look at this. Chain plates look fantastic. She's gorgeous. She's a gorgeous boat. You could sail this boat today if you rig it with some new lines. There's no halyards on it. No sheets for the sails. Oh, did I mention the sails? They're crispy. They look like they're maybe a couple seasons old, which is phenomenal. So, minimal investment. It's going to be a fantastic return, I think. I'm going to polish this boat, get her really beautiful, and see if we can find a home for her at Lake Perry with a member. She is bow up. She's been bleached, pressure washed, rinsed. She's currently draining out the back. Not sure if I love or don't love having God, I can never remember the name of the bailers. Oh, here she comes back down a little bit. Hose connection is a piece of crap. Oh. Let her sit up all the way. There we go. think I'll put the back of the chair about there. She comes down. Yeah, that's okay. As she gets lighter in the back, she wants to come down. So I'm just gonna let her drain for a while. I'll give her a couple more rinses to get this funk out. There was a little bit of leaves and crap in the front locker and down here in the floorboard. We got the buffer out. So let's see what we can do with this baby. So it's always a good idea to wet your pad. This is a heavy cut pad. It's been used many times. It's been washed. You can tell it's pretty worn, and that's okay. It doesn't reduce the effectiveness of the pad. More than anything, you just kind of lose a lot of that fuzzy material that you end up getting all over your face and your body, which is a little bit annoying and itchy. This is just a super light, little bit of soap and water solution. We're just kind of wet. We're not going to soak it. We're just going to kind of dampen the pad. And then we're going to take our Meguiar's heavy cut compound. We're just going to put a bead of it on the buffer, about like that. And then instead of starting from here, if you turn this thing on now, you're going to spray this stuff all over yourself and everywhere and anything around you. It's best to kind of wipe the stuff on like this, spreading it around a little bit. And then for heavy cut, I really like about 3,200 RPM. That's the fastest this machine will do. But we're going to kind of get there a little slower. We're going to start at 1,600 and then kind of slowly work our way up to that speed. It's still going to throw stuff. You may end up seeing it hit the phone there, the camera. I was immediately correct, and your camera clean. Let's try it again. Look at that shine. I mean, that's just the first coat, first pass. Not even waxed. But it's already taken the oxidation out. And look how flat that is. And look how much luster comes back just with one pass. I noticed one spot, and it's going to be a tough thing to avoid. This corner here. See that kind of red in there? That's taking the buffing pad too far, taking too much material off, and you're exposing that edge, essentially showing what's under the colored gel coat. So we're going to have to be really cognizant and careful about not doing that. Oh, damn it. Here's another little spot. See that? We don't want to be doing that. That's not cool at all. So I'm going to slow this pad down. We're not going to go 3,200. We're going to slow this baby down 2,100 or less. And it's just going to take a little more time and a little more elbow grease. She's going to polish up real nice.
I think you can see the difference. It speaks for itself. I'm not even done on this side yet. There's still quite a few passes to make. The white on the bottom is going to be a real problem. I'm going to have to flip the boat over to do it. It's just too much, too hard to get to. Look how chalky this side looks now. What a dramatic difference. All right, here's the difference between hand waxing and high-speed waxing. High-speed waxing is amazing and always comes out better. This side chalky and shitty, haven't done a thing to, only washed it. There's been no buffing, no heavy cut, no waxing, nothing. This side has been heavy cut, polished. It's been stripped with acrylic clean, removing all grease, and then it's been waxed high speed. And it's just night and day different. The color has come back, the luster has come back. She just looks phenomenal. I need to work on the white a little bit more. I have polished it, but it's really hard to get to. Like stuff like this little black mark, that'll come out. I'm gonna have to flip the boat over to do the bottom side, essentially. But the gold stripe, I'd call it done. Look at the shine on that seat. I mean, she's gonna be a real beautiful boat. Well, I've got the boat flipped over. I should have videoed how I did it, and I'm sorry I didn't. I had Susan out here helping me, and she's not exactly a patient person sometimes when it comes to this stuff. Busy doing her own thing, and I have to interrupt her and be like, hey, come help me. So what I did was I basically picked up the back end of the boat, set it as far as I could off to one side of the trailer. And when I got to a point that I felt like I could literally roll the boat off of the trailer onto its beam, that's what I did, making sure I was far enough off that we didn't take out one of the lights, because it could have just broke that off. Don't like the open fenders. I'm going to have to do something about that. And I'll show you why. So at some point, this boat has gotten a little bit sideways on this trailer, and I'm not surprised because look how the bunks are. The bunks are just floaters. They literally just move like that. And that's crap. This is a homemade trailer. This is gonna now need a makeover. And that's fine. I kind of expected to have to do it. Here's a piece of damage I didn't see earlier. Somebody's filled in with something. The bow is pretty straight for the most part. It's not terrible. This one's a little funky. We'll probably just hit it with some epoxy. This is what concerns me. That's actually into the gel coat a little bit. You know what that is? That's from the tire rubbing. That's from that tire rubbing on this. Probably when we go over a bump or something. That's not cool. Little spot right here. Other than that, she looks real nice. Somebody's done some repair here. Needs a little bit right there. A little bit right there. So I've got both sides now buffed out in the stripe. Now we're going to work on the hull. And I don't even know that I'll take it all the way across. I probably will. It's going to use more time and material, that's for sure. And it's going to be hard to get up high in the center here. But this, this gives me opportunity to inspect the trunk down here, and it looks real nice. Normal wear, nothing funky. So I'm going to get busy busting out some more polish. She's taking a shine real nice. Dull. Shiny, so shiny. That's a difference. Oh no, Mr. Buffer died. She started smoking. I've got extra brushes. We might be able to fix it, but I don't know. So that means we are hand paste waxing, and it's brutal. This side is done. This side is having a moment of reflection. I thought that was a pretty funny joke. No, you give the wax a few minutes to set up. It's doing its thing. It's gonna look really good after I wipe it off. My shoulder, however, that's another story. Side looks look at that. Glorious. Oh, okay. So I've got a towel that's kind of dry, kind of saturated with wax. Wet the good side down. So this is like the initial kind of takeoff, but at the same time, it's also kind of rubbing it into the micro scratches. We're getting in there at the cellular level. Not really. That's essentially what wax does, though. It gets in the rough crevices. If you looked at gel coat under a microscope, there would be a lot of roughness and imperfection. And the wax fills in those spaces, protecting it, making it smoother, keeping it cleaner. So what gets in those crevices is dirt and buildup and oxidation. And over time, starts to look crummy. Same thing with your car. So we give her a nice coat of wax to protect the surface. And, in theory, a waxed hull will travel faster through the water. Less resistance. Oh, man. This tile's about saturated completely. So I put the wax on really pretty darn heavy. I want it in every little crevice, nook, and cranny. I don't want to miss a spot. This pass is really just taking off all the excess. This towel is soaked. Cool thing is, you can throw this in the dishwasher. Not dishwasher. You can throw it in your washing machine with old crummy towels like this. And it'll come right back to a usable work towel. All right, let's fold this puppy up. And the reason I fold them and not just wad and wipe, when you wad and wipe, your surface area is inconsistent and you can't tell what part of the towel you've used and what part you haven't. There's Grandma and Christopher. Hi, little mama. She said, well, hi. I'm polishing my boat. Polishing the new boat. What do you got there? cake? Oh, I love cake. That's the best kind of grandma in the world. Well, yep, this is the new one we just got from St. Louis. Ooh. Yeah, you just about could. Boat restoration. Look at that. She starts getting that kind of streaky, squeaky sound. You know you're getting that excess wax off. Can you hear the squeakies? Oh my gosh. Power buffing would have been so much easier and faster and honestly more effective. The high RPMs and the heat that it generates actually helps polymerize the wax and gets it really into the micro surface. That's okay. Well, you don't want to watch me do this for another 15, 20 minutes, so I'm just going to say goodbye for now. See you in a minute. And through the modern miracle of digital technology, it's like you've traveled through time 20 minutes, and I have finished waxing the boat. Didn't she look awesome? She really shined up. I'm very pleased with the outcome. We don't get a whole lot of shine on this side. I just need a little more sun. I feel like maybe there's a little spot of wax I've missed there. Yep. It's kind of the problem with hand waxing is it's hard to see all of it. I think there's a spot there I might have missed too. I feel like I could have buffed this side a little bit better. I would like to have got another pass on it. It's certainly a little bit more dull than the port side of the boat. I mean, don't get me wrong. It looks an absolute shitload better than it did. But my buffer burned up. And I'm cool with it. I'm just going to call it good. This side is absolutely perfection. And that's probably what led my buffer to burning up, is running it nonstop at the highest RPM possible for like 4 hours. Okay. Now we're going to figure out how to flip this boat back over, but I got to do a little modification on the trailer. You know what? It's not a terrible time right now to paint that trailer as well. Now we're just taking off any excess material of stain, That's beautiful. That is really lovely. It almost looks mahogany-like. I didn't know if I was gonna like this tiller, but now I kind of love it. Kind of makes me want to use it on Chiquita. But, you know, I like to keep the boat original, especially if the original owner sees this boat. He is a local guy in Kansas City, and I know who he is, and I'd like to share with him what I've done to the boat. So maybe we can find him. I'm going to find him on Facebook, and look at that. That looks awesome. This bolt is going to get replaced. It's looks like it's snapped off on this end, so I'm going to punch it out. Whoops. I'm going to drive it out with a punch and put a new bolt through it, put a new piece of stainless through it. So to recap, I've stripped and restained what we think is oak. I've polished the extension handle to a bright sheen. I've added a new golf club handle to the extension. And I've updated some of the attachment hardware with some nylon bushings. She looks phenomenal. The only next thing she needs is a keeper. And I'll order one of those. We'll put it right there where those holes are, so you can snap her in place so she doesn't flop around. So when you don't need the extension on a calm day, you're steering from here. Real happy with that. Really, really happy with that. That looks just phenomenal. I was at my mom's today. Today was moving day for her to leave the house that I grew up in since I was 5 till I was like 17. And it's emotional. There's still a lot of crap there. There's still a lot of my dad's crap there. I was going through the shop, looking at stuff, gathering things, getting them together, and I came across an item that's like, I get emotional about it. This was Dad's tiller extension off the Y-Flyer. And this is pretty cool to have. I love that I have it. I love that he kept it. I love that I found it. And you can bet your ass this means a lot to me. This is something that meant a lot to him. And the tiller, it's the most personal part of the boat. This is going to end up on Chiquita for sure. Doing a little work on 727 today. Justin had to go help a buddy with a bathroom remodel. So I said I'd continue working. It is hot. Like every now and then I get the cold chills kind of hot, which isn't a good thing. But let's take a look at what I've done. So the rudder was not set up correctly at all. It was kind of a disaster. And I'm still not real happy with this fitting. I didn't do this. Somebody else did. And we'll probably see if I can shorten this up. I've added this fitting here, which is just a U-shackle with a stopper knot. The stopper here was mounted to the side, which is completely unfunctional for use inside the boat. So we brought it to the top, run the line down. This is a jam cleat that I put on the boat, something I had laying around, and a nice piece of line that matches the boat, and an awesome golf ball. So you can grab a hold of that. You can find it. You can throw this in the locker and she stays out of the way that way. The line's not flopping around, getting in the way. So when you're underway and you're moving, I can't move the rudder currently because she's in the down position. Give me a moment. And then set it into the jam. Rudder's kicked up. Now, I don't love this. This is really uncool. So we're going to figure out how we can make that not happen. And I think I'm going to put some kind of a buffer between the rod and the top of the rudder. We'll work it so it only comes down to about that far. That's where it should stop right there. But you see when I move, that line stays in the locker because the golf ball basically has weight to it. We rigged the main sheet. Now that I'm looking at this line, and the line's usable, but if it were my boat, I'd probably replace it. I rigged the Cunningham, and I don't even know if this is right. I've never seen a Cunningham like this. It's a cable on ball system that locks into a key up here. So you've got 2 to 1 or 2 to 3 purchase. And this is a jam right here. Well, I had no way to attach this to the base of the mast. So I fabbed up this piece of cable and I swaged it in on it. So it is now holding that in place. And that's the jam for the line. So you pull forward and down to put tension on the Cunningham, on the, wow, my brain is essentially fried at this point. The Vang, the Boom Vang. I couldn't think of it. And it works. It's not great. I don't love it. I would rather have a cam cleat on that thing. I'd probably replace that fitting altogether. And maybe even that. And just put a bail. But whatever. Not my boat. But it works. Sheets around the jib. Found a piece of line I had. I put the out haul on the boat. So now we've got an out haul. These are temporary. He took the U shackles with him, and he's going to replace them with snap shackles, so you can take this off the boom easily and quickly, and I highly recommend that. The Cunningham line, it's pretty fresh. I don't think it needs renewed. The halyards are Dyneema. They're small. Here's something I've never seen. Well, I say that I've never seen in person, but I have seen. It's a loose tack, or I guess you would call that the luff. The luff is not attached to the head stay, which is kind of cool. So, I think why you do that is so you can essentially furl. You can twist the jib around the wire, get it down to launch, and then you can unfurl it. Kind of cool. Mine's Hank on, and I'm happy with that. What else about this boat? Oh, so the head stay, we upgraded this shackle here. I put this piece on and a quick release shackle. I don't love this. It's going to work fine, but I like on Chiquita where it's a 2-piece. It's this and a smaller one internal. You connect your head stay to that, and then you snap it in, which applies the pressure. This works okay with this system of standing the mast. He's got a standing mast assist system, which is really cool. And I may try to convert my boat over to this. I watched him stand this mast basically by himself with my instruction, and he made it look really easy. There's a pin on either side of the base of the mast, and you put the back one in. So the mast is laying down. You lift the back end of the mast up a little bit. That pin goes through the base, which is attached to the boat, and it goes through the base of the mast, allowing it to pivot this way, forward and back. So you just have to push the mast up and stand it. And then you put the other pin in right here. Pretty awesome. At that point, she pretty much is standing on her own with the stays on the sides, and you just have to come up and attach the head stay. Pretty neat. What else did we do? We put on a new drain plug. Fancy schmancy stainless steel drain plug. There was a mouse living in this boat at one time, and we had to clean out, we had to flush and flush and flush and flush. I don't know that you can see the pile here anywhere. I don't know where it went. Yeah, it's seemingly gone. Oh, no? Well, anyway, sorry. There was so much crap in here. It was mouse nest that came out of that hole. So interesting on this boat, the cavity here is walled in, and there's a drain plug there that goes into that locker and then out the back hole here. We found a dead mouse that washed out of there. On my vessel over here, that cavity is completely open to the back of the boat. Doesn't have that built-in wall. Hey, there's my gorgeous wife.
Hi.
You're bringing bedding to me.
Well, I figure at this point you probably need
Oh,
to rest, and I don't think you're coming back in the house.
I died a few hours ago.
I know.
This is my ghost.
I can't believe you're still out here.
Well, if I stay in the shade, okay.
I'm gonna go put these in the camper.
I'm a little bit sweaty. Am I hot and red looking?
Yeah.
I need to cool off.
Yeah, you better do.
Hi, Papa. Say hi to the peoples.
You say hi?
Hi, Papa
See,
Joe.
I don't know how to talk.
Poppy Joe. Hey. Hi, hun.
Mm.
Hi. Yes. You love the people. You're so sweet. Ooh, it is so hot. All right, little looky look at what we've done here. I don't love that this rudder is not solid. And I understand why they would have done it, is to reduce weight, because these things can be really incredibly heavy. That plate aluminum, normally like this would be a solid piece, or there'd be a whole nother sheet that's between here and here. Okay, so what I've done, so this came down so far that, hold on, I got to move the sails in the way. It came down so far that it would hit here, and effectively it was leaving the scratch in the boat, which is not cool at all. So we've put a fitting, when I say we, I mean me and the mouse in my pocket. This is just a shackle, and I've run a bolt through it on this side. It's an Allen wrench bolt. Can you see that? I don't even know what I'm aiming at right now. There you go. Goes through there. It's got a lock washer and then a nylon lock nut. So now, when you lower the stick, she stops right there. And I think it's a great height. And she might be, I don't know, you could get her to come down a little bit if you needed to, but I think it's a wonderful height. She does not hit the back of the boat, and most of the time you're steering with this anyway. So really good action. She moves well. You can still raise. So that was another thing I considered, was running a bolt through both of them. But then it would lock the tiller where you wouldn't be able to raise it like this. So very cool. There we go. There's that. There's our ball. Just need to get a keeper and mount it about here. You know, I'm a little afraid that this is going to be in the way for the keeper. You know, don't necessarily need a keeper. I guess we could move this back to here. Probably going to do the same thing though. Pretty happy with what we've accomplished today. I think I probably am approaching heat exhaustion, if not heat stroke. I'm going to go inside and I'm going to drink ice water in the shower, and I'm going to take an icy cold shower. So very cool. She's a beautiful boat. Next little project will be some fiberglass in the corner over there. We found a spot that's cracked on the port side. It's pretty uncool. A little disappointed that Fred sold it to Justin in this condition. Can you see that? I mean, it's not a small crack either. So we're gonna effectively have to glass that whole seam. Probably about 4 feet of glass work. And if you're going to do one side, you might as well do both. Which means we'll be taking the plugs out, glassing them over. We'll have to put new plugs in when it's done. And that's fine. We'll upgrade them and we'll put the stainless in. It'll look real nice.
Hey, thanks for watching. And do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. And if you really get value out of the channel, I really would appreciate if you come and check out my Patreon. Find the link in the comment section below and hit that link and check it out. You can join my Patreon for as little as $2 a month, and it really does help. I love doing this work. I find a lot of joy doing it. I may sound frustrated sometimes, but it really makes me happy. Thanks again.